What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today I got a quick video for you guys. Wanted to talk about Shareef O'Neal. And I wanted to talk about Shareef O'Neal because he recently announced that he will be transferring out of LSU. So I wanted to talk about Shareef. What are his options now that he will not be at LSU next year? Where could we potentially see Shareef next year? Wanted to kind of just talk about his basketball career in general and kind of where he's at with that. But more importantly, wanted to hear what you guys have to say about the whole situation. So make sure you leave your thoughts on Shareef, his transfer, where do you think he'll play, what do you think of his career so far, and what are his options moving forward. Leave all those thoughts down in the comment section below. And with that being said, let's get into the video. So like I said in the intro, Shareef O'Neal has announced that he will be transferring out of LSU. And this is not the most shocking news that we've heard. I think there are a number of reasons why Shareef O'Neal will be transferring out of LSU. One of the big ones is that LSU's head coach was fired just before the NCAA tournament. LSU was found with a number of violations. They consider them level 1, level 2 violations, whatever. They got hit with, I believe, a couple of each. And it seems like, at a minimum, LSU will not be eligible for an NCAA tournament. They'll be hit with some kind of suspension or probation or whatever, and will miss probably at a minimum one NCAA tournament. And so when that happens, when the coach leaves, when those kind of things are looming over a program, it's hard to keep players there, as LSU has found out with not only Shareef transferring out, but I think at one point their entire roster was in the transfer portal. So that's kind of how bad things are at LSU in terms of where their players are at. And so Shareef is one of many players from that team and the entire team that has entered the portal and will not be back next year. Now, what exactly are Shareef O'Neal's options now that he's in the transfer portal? Because so far Shareef's basketball career has not went the way that I'm sure he expected, or a lot of people that have followed his career have expected. Obviously, there's been a lot of unfortunate things that have happened to Shareef. He went through a very scary situation at UCLA where I believe he had to have open heart surgery and caused him to miss his first year at UCLA. Came back within a year, I believe, and was able to play his redshirt freshman year at UCLA, where he saw limited playing time, had limited opportunity there, and decided to transfer to LSU. And I think we all know the connection that Shareef has to LSU with his dad being Shaq and playing there, and kind of wanting to fill in those footsteps or create his own path, I guess, at LSU. And so far in his time at LSU, things definitely did not go to plan. Shareef dealt with injuries at LSU as well. And when he was on the floor, he saw limited minutes and wasn't able to make a huge impact for the LSU basketball team. His stats this last season were kind of pedestrian. He didn't start playing until about January. And when he did play, he played very sparingly. He didn't play a ton of minutes, averaging kind of in the low teens to kind of upper 8-9 minutes a game. There were some games where he was able to get to 20 minutes, and there was other games where he only played 2, 3, 4 minutes. And so his playing time was sporadic and it wasn't very consistent. And so when you get kind of those minutes or that's your situation, obviously Shareef was not able to put up impressive stats by any means. Averaged about 3 points a game, a couple rebounds, was actually pretty efficient from the floor, shooting 50% from the field, which is not bad. But he just wasn't able to expand his range like I think a lot of people thought he would be able to out of high school, only shooting 1 for 7 from 3. And I think the big shocker for me is that he's really struggled from the free throw line, shooting about 50% for his college career now. And he's got a good looking form when it comes to shooting, and so not sure why the free throw struggles, if it's mental, if it's lack of rhythm from the lack of minutes and consistent playing time, or whatever it is, but has really struggled from the line. And so that's been a disappointment in terms of that. And so with those stats and lack of playing time and lack of production at this level, I think it's probably safe to assume that if Shareef decides to play college basketball next year, he will probably have to drop down from a high major D1 school to probably looking at mid to low major, just kind of based on production and what he's done so far at the college level. So what schools would he be considering, or what schools would look at him? And I think the one school that has really stood out is Texas Southern. And the reason why that school stands out is that his brother, Shareef O'Neal, is currently on the roster there. He redshirted this last year. I've made a couple videos about Shareef, talking about him in this game. I really like him. He's a late bloomer. He's someone who I think has a ton of potential, especially for someone at that level. Now he'll have to put it all together to reach it, but I think Shareef is a promising young player, and so I could definitely see Shareef wanting to team up with Shareef at Texas Southern. I think it would be a really good duo. I think their games would complement each other very well, and I think they could be two very good players at that kind of mid to low major D1 basketball. I think they could be impressive at that level. I think they could stand out, and I think they could make a name for themselves there. I believe they also have a sister that plays at Texas Southern, and so it could kind of be a little bit of a family thing. Start their own thing there while their dad was at LSU. They could kind of start their roots at Texas Southern and make that kind of an O'Neal thing. I think that would be pretty cool, and so I would guess that Texas Southern would be the favorite to land him. I think that it would be a good spot for him where it's not a lot of pressure, it's a little less competition, or a lot less competition than playing in the SEC at Texas Southern, and so it would be a good look for Shareef to go there, I believe. Now, will Shareef go there? I have no idea. It would be kind of a blow, I guess, to the ego to probably be playing at UCLA, then LSU, and have to take a step down to Texas Southern. That's just, like I said, not the same level of competition, not the same level of athlete playing there and in that conference, and so it'd be maybe a little bit of a blow there, but I think it'd be a good chance for him to get his footing, get an opportunity to play some major minutes, and be a very productive college player. And so I think that's where Shareef should go. I think it'd be a good opportunity for him, and I guess we'll just have to wait and see what his options are. But right now, I would say Texas Southern is the favorite. They got that family connection, and I think it'd be a good look for him. So leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Let me know where you think Shareef should go. Leave all those thoughts down in the comment section. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys later.